So Selena and the dinosaurs?
Pretty much. Don't say it like that.
And I'm just wondering, I'm just trying to place this.
Hey, Eric. I'm Ricky. You're Eric.
I am Eric. Yes. Sometimes I have found that with a podcast, it's helpful to like identify each other's
Who
voices.
you are.
Yes. I'm Eric.
Wait,
this
so
is
I
Eric.
need to say I'm Eric. I need to
No.
say I'm Ricky.
Yeah, you don't need to say you're Eric. That will definitely confuse people.
Yeah, you give somebody a mic and anything can happen, right?
Anything can happen. Yes. So one thing, Ricky, I wanted to say is we got a ton of good feedback from the last couple episodes, mostly from your friends. Actually, like really excellent feedback from all of your friends. And some of the feedback was we should spend a little time maybe trying to introduce a little bit more of ourselves and our background, because I feel like in episode 1 we just say a little bit about ourselves and then we jump right in. I think we were very eager. And so do you want to do that right now?
Yeah. So I have a little bit of a music background. I had a incomplete music career as a child. I worked for Radio Disney, did some things here and there on YouTube, sang professionally, but I have no authority to speak on any of these topics. I'm just really interested in pop culture and music, and I do a lot of research, and that's why I have some expert knowledge on this topic. What about you, Eric?
So I was trying to think about how to introduce myself. I feel like it's a little bit of a cop-out to say like I'm sort of a nerd and I don't really know a lot about pop culture.
Accurate.
Right. It's true, but it doesn't really, I feel like, give a flavor, because I feel like nerd is very general like topic. So it's like, what kind of nerd am I? So I was thinking like, okay, Dungeons and Dragons, like that stuff, computers, very, very into all the technical bits. I am probably like my family's tech support person, if that,
And mine.
and your tech support person.
Mm-hmm. You set up this podcast.
I have been fiddling with all, if you like the audio of this podcast, I have been tweaking all the gain settings before we get started, and making little modifications, picking the podcast hosting platform, configuring our website, all of those sorts of nerdy things. I've been working a lot with Claude Code and making little apps for myself and for my family. So I feel like that probably gives you a little bit of flavor of like the kind of nerd that I am. But all of that to say is I really sort of, to an embarrassingly bad degree, don't understand a lot of pop culture. And my relationship with Ricky has been very educational in that way. And this podcast sort of is sharing that with the world a little bit.
Well, I think also that's the point of the podcast, is for us to kind of not judge.
That's
We're
right.
supposed to be supportive, and it's educational to anybody and everybody, whether you know the information or not.
Yeah, and I was just going to say that the dynamic works really well because you know a lot and I don't know anything, and you're always probably going to learn something through this conversation. So
yes, if you're new, we kind of do a little trending topics section where we talk about some things that are popping up in the zeitgeist, as they say, as the nerds say.
Yes. All right, let's get into it. Tell me about our first topic.
All right, so our first trending topic, Alessia Cara says that NPR's Tiny Desk rejected her, so she did her own Giant Desk series.
Okay.
So do you know what Tiny Desk is by NPR?
I do. My mom has sent me some Tiny Desk concerts. I feel like that's where I first learned about Tiny Desk. I don't actually know the history of like, I know NPR started doing it. I don't know why they started doing it, but I know it's a thing NPR does in their office somewhere.
Yeah, so it's a popular live music series on YouTube, and artists perform stripped down versions of their songs. And the appeal is that it's not so flashy production, that it's just the artist and the band and just raw musicianship. So many huge artists have done it. Well, Alessia Cara, she said that she was declined multiple times. And so she went out and got her own giant desk and kind of like stuck it to them in a really nice, like artistic kind of way. And it also makes me wonder, like, how many other artists have they turned down, and why are they turning down artists?
I think it's just the funniest thing that, like, in what world would, like, 2026, it's like, and NPR, National Public Radio, turned me down from doing a concert in their office to stream on YouTube is like the strangest sentence.
Right. I mean, it's great. It's great promo for the both of them, and it's kind of, it's like cheeky. I think it's fun.
Yeah.
And she did her own, and it was a great performance. So
okay. It's also streamed on YouTube somewhere?
Yes. Yeah, she did. She streamed it.
Okay.
All right. Our second trending topic, Taylor Swift was inducted to the Songwriters Hall of Fame.
Is that a big deal?
That is a big deal, yes. Yeah. So it honors writers whose songs have had a lasting impact on popular music.
Okay. How are there like a lot of people that have been inducted?
Yes, there's been a lot, but artists are generally become eligible 20 years after their first commercial release. So she's making history as becoming the youngest woman ever inducted and the second youngest inductee. She's 36, but her first song, Tim McGraw, came out in June 2006. And so 20 years later, she's now eligible. And first chance they got, the Songwriters of Hall of Fame decided to induct her.
Okay. Yeah, that was sort of my question. I was like, were they just sort of champing at the bit and they were just like waiting for her to hit her 20-year mark and just like, all right, you're in? Because like, obviously she's like great.
I mean, probably, right? And I don't know. So now she joins like Paul Simon and Dolly Parton and Stevie Wonder, Elton John, Billy Joel.
Yeah.
Like, she's one step closer to legendary status. And I'm sure Swifties already think that she's a legend, but...
Yeah. Okay. How many, just real quick, total people are in the Hall of Fame? It's like 100, 1,000, 100, like 15?
I think it's dozens. I looked on the list. There's a list on Wikipedia that I was looking at earlier today.
Okay. But it's not like 1,000.
Probably not. I don't know if we've had 1,000 artists.
Okay. I was just trying to gauge.
Possibly. Who knows? Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Cool.
All right. And then the last trending topic, Phoebe Bridgers decided to ban phones from her concerts.
Oh, hold on.
And you have to put your phone into a yonder pouch. Eric's clapping.
Okay.
And why are you clapping?
Because boo phones, we would be so much better without them, just generally, probably. Just also, if you're listening to this on the phone, don't throw it out yet. Just listen to the rest of the episode, but then feel free to throw it out after the episode. I'm very pro being off of your phone.
Yeah. And this is just interesting from a music standpoint of concerts, because that means she's getting no social media promotion.
Yeah.
It's making it that much more intimate. And then you witnessed me watching the live stream of Ariana Grande's concert the other night. And so you don't know what the set list is going to be.
Yeah.
It's a kind of cool thing. And I haven't really experienced a concert like that without a huge phone in my way. It's blocking my view from the artist.
That is super cool. And I really, really wish more concerts would do that. I think people would have such a good time.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Me too.
That's actually my favorite trending topic that you've done so far of all the episodes, actually.
And see, I knew you would like it for that one reason.
I liked it. Yes. That was good.
All right, let's get into our main topic.
Let's get into it.
All right, Eric, today's main topic.
Oh, I know what it is.
You do know. You did get a precursor. Sometimes he doesn't know, you guys. Sometimes I just kind of surprise him. But the reason why is we were walking along Lady Bird Lake the other day in Austin, Texas, and we passed by the Mexican American Cultural Center, and there was a mural on the side of the building, a mosaic mural. And I said, Eric, do you know who that is? And your answer was no. but that's okay. I said, oh, we'll save it for the podcast.
And so here we are.
Yes. That mural was of
jeez,
the one and only La Reina, Queen of Tejano music, Selena Quintanilla. So what do you know about Selena, Eric?
Okay. This
is a safe space.
I'm nervous for this podcast. I'm not going to lie. I'm nervous for this podcast because I really don't know anything. Okay. When you say Selena, I think Gomez. So that's the extent of
Ay, Dios mío.
That's the extent of my
Selena Hispanic knowledge is going to come out in this conversation.
I don't know anything. I think, can I just say, I think we were in Corpus Christi. Okay. I know that because we walked by a statue of her.
Yes.
But that is it. And I don't actually remember what we talked about at the statue.
Yeah, we could talk about that. So we grew up in we did grow up in two different places, but
yes. I grew up in Virginia.
And I grew up in New Mexico. And in the Southwest, we ride or die for Selena. And in Texas, they actually teach about Selena to students. Like, she is part of the curriculum, which is pretty interesting.
She was not part of my curriculum.
In Virginia, I could understand.
Right. They
maybe did not speak about Selena.
A lot of Civil War stuff, but yeah. No.
Yeah, so Selena grew up in Lake Jackson outside of Houston, but most of her career developed in Corpus Christi, which is why you mentioned the statue. We saw the statue of Selena in Corpus Christi.
Okay. And so Selena is she grew up in this area, and she is a singer.
Yes, American born, so she's from Texas.
Okay, American born. Was she sort of just like a Ariana Grande, like just singer? Was she like a guitarist? Was she like what?
She's everything.
Okay.
All right. So her father, Abraham Quintanilla, was a former musician.
Quintanilla. Okay.
Yeah. And so he believed that his kids had a talent, after hearing Selena sing. So they started a band called Selena y los Dinos.
Why did she start singing?
I mean,
she was just like, were they at like church or something? And they were just like,
well, I don't know. Kids just like start singing, and then your parents are like,
oh, you got a good voice.
Coming from experience, yes. Actually, I was singing in the back of the car, and my parents were like, oh, wow, you can sing. We should invest in this. So that's how I got my start.
Okay. So she started singing. Her dad picked up on it, and she was like, I'm gonna.
Also, her dad had the musical talent of himself. So he...
From what?
He was a former musician. So he kind of just like picked up on the fact that Selena could sing.
Okay, but sort of like a low-key, I'm going to play at some bars around town kind of musician, or like was he also famous?
Yeah, he sang around town, yes.
Okay, but not like famous, like...
No, she's not necessarily like a Nepo baby, no.
Okay, that's helpful.
So they started a band called Selena y los Dinos.
Okay. Selena y los Dios.
Dinos. And Selena sang the lead vocals.
Mm-hmm.
The brother, AB, he's named after Abraham. The brother played bass and helped write songs. And then Selena's sister, Suzette, she played the drums. And so the family performed at restaurants and weddings and fiestas, county fairs, different places around Texas.
Okay. So just real quick in terms of siblings, middle child, older child.
I think Selena's the youngest.
Okay.
And Suzette is the oldest, and then it's AB. Yeah.
Okay. So she's got two older siblings. Interesting, actually. Older siblings acting sort of as her backup. She's the star.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So singing around town, county fairs, birthdays.
Yeah. So growing up in South Texas, like the family faced financial hardships, during the 1980s. And so music kind of became their livelihood. So they traveled all over the state making money, doing gigs.
Mm-hmm. So her father was presumably doing like also basically trying to do the same thing, but just not as successful. And so like like really pivoted and like invested in his children to do this, and he like became their manager or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, he
Okay.
definitely was like pulling strings in the back, kind of pushing them to do it. Pushing them similar to like Joe Jackson with the Jackson 5.
Also, just real quick, the mother, where's the mother in all this?
She's there.
She's there.
Marcela was just, support behind the scenes for the entire family.
Okay.
Interestingly, Selena sang in Spanish, but her first language was English. So she had no idea what she was singing. And I can relate to that because I also sang in Spanish and had no idea what I was singing.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Why was she singing in Spanish? So like, presumably that's way more difficult than singing in the language that you know. So I understand like if she was maybe singing for a quinceañera or something like that, like she'd have a couple songs prepared or something like that. But why? Like what prompted that?
That's just the genre that she was singing. She was singing Tejano music. Tejano music is a style blending Mexican, Texan, and American musical traditions.
Okay.
And so she was bringing that to mainstream audiences. And so she did sing songs in her younger years in English, but going into these like fiestas or the places that she was performing, they wanted to hear Spanish music.
Okay, so that was my question. Yeah.
And so her dad kind of like encouraged her to sing in Spanish. Sing these songs in Spanish. It's what the people want. They want to hear you guys. And then if your name is Selena y los Dinos and your name is Selena Quintanilla, a Mexican American last name and first name, and you're singing English songs, the people in the communities are like, hey, why aren't you singing Spanish music? So her father thought that it was just a better idea for her to sing in Spanish.
So she was a little pushed that direction. And also she was singing at events where the audience sort of expected that.
Yes.
Okay.
And so her father managed her. And so her brother, AB, he wrote a lot of the songs and also played in the band. And then Suzette, she played the drums and then later became one of her main caretakers of Selena's legacy. And we'll get into that later.
Okay. Yeah, that sort of makes me feel like something happened to her. Wait, did something happen to her? Okay. Oh, yes. God. This is an interesting story. I really don't know. Okay. Keep going.
Do you know some Selena songs?
I feel like I couldn't name one for you, but if you played one, I would be like, yes.
Maybe. I think you know this one. And we did receive feedback that people would like to hear the songs. And I think last episode we talked about the rights to songs and how it's kind of complicated. Yeah. And I did drop a New Music Friday recently. Yeah. And I included the snippets of the songs, and that was just an experiment. So
yes,
on the full length episodes, we're not going to do that, but on those little bite-sized New Music Fridays, we might do that.
Right.
But
yeah.
I can sing one of the songs to you. Is that okay?
Sure.
Do you know Bidi Bidi Bam Bam?
Oh, yeah.
Bam. Or do you know Baila, baila esta cumbia, mueve la cintura?
Maybe if I heard more of the background.
Do you know como la flor, con tanto amor, me diste tú?
Oh.
Pari chiquita ma, hey.
Yeah. Hey. Yeah. I think I do know that. I think I do. Yeah. Okay. So I know some of her music.
You do know some of her music, yeah. And so she did songs that were Tejano music, which I explained.
Yeah.
She did cumbias. She did like rancheras.
What's a cumbia?
What's a cumbia? I think that could be another episode.
Okay. Cumbia is a style of song, though, at least?
Yes, it's a style.
Okay. It's a style. Okay.
So to help me explain Selena, I've enlisted the help of some folks, and I'm going to play you a little snippet of how they felt like they could explain Selena to you.
Oh, okay. Yes.
All right. The first clip is from my dear friend, Chelsea Moreno.
Oh, okay. Wow. I'm so excited.
Okay, so this is what I think specifically Eric should know about Selena and her music. So I grew up in a border town, El Paso, not to be confused with the other side of Texas. It's far west Texas. not the valley. It's right on the border of Mexico, Juarez. That's where a lot of my family's from. You grow up listening to music like Selena, and it makes you and your whole family jump up, get on the dance floor or wherever you're at someone's house, at a cookout, eating delicious Mexican food. Makes you jump up and dance. And automatically, somehow, I feel like you're just born knowing the lyrics to her songs. Like, I genuinely fully believe that, like, in the womb, like, you're just born knowing her songs for some reason. Like,
Okay, that is like such a crazy thing, but it's so accurate. Like,
Wow.
clap for that, because I do think that our mothers and our entire family was just listening to Selena around us. So then us, our 1995 babies, we came out and we were like, como la flor. Like, we totally knew all the lyrics because of Selena. It's just like this like cultural impact. Like, it spans generations. So Chelsea was so right.
Yeah, and I just want to say, one, I didn't know you had reached out to her. That's awesome. Also, I feel like what is striking me right now is, even like, I know Chelsea, and just the joy in her voice, I feel like, is sort of reflective of the music. And knowing a couple of the songs that you're talking about, and like particularly that one that you just said, and that it's like, it's I'm getting the feeling, and tell me if this is right or not, that it's like music that speaks to the heart. And that's why it's like you're saying, like, oh, I feel like you're born knowing it, because it's not heady music. Mm-hmm. Is that, am I on the right track?
Yeah, I think she had, such a command of like the stage from like a young age. And then as an adult, she was singing these like love ballads. Yeah. And you're listening to the music, and the way she sang the songs, as if she had gone through that many breakups. And you're like, wait, have you? Right. But it was believable. She made it sound authentic. And I think that's what people loved about Selena. I think they also loved her fashion. Not only was she a great singer, but she was also very stylish and very beautiful. And she kind of was her own. And then she also just had a great personality. Like, if you watch clips, and we're going to have to go through a deep dive. This is just an introduction into Selena, but yeah. You see clips and videos of her and in interviews, and she's just such a bright being.
So you were saying she was consistent on stage and off stage. Like, she was just a bright character, bright light, like, yes, authentic, just like
authentic. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I get that. I get how that would really touch people.
Yeah. And so she had just like a huge impact as her career was kind of growing and building. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, on May 31st, 1995, she was shot and killed at the age of 23 at a motel in Corpus Christi. And she was actually shot by someone who managed her fan club.
What?
Yolanda happens to be in jail currently.
What? Is it for Selena? Like, still in jail for her murder? Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Okay. Good. I think she was eligible for parole recently, and we were like, oh, I say we, absolutely, the Selena fans and Texans, right. We were like, if I see Yolanda, I'm going to go get her.
You're safer in jail. Yeah.
Seriously. Because we are all deprived of what Selena in this era would have been. Like,
wait. Okay. So help me. Why? What, like, what was what was the motive? Is it known? Like, what was her name? Yolanda
Salivar.
Has Yolanda come out and been like, I really didn't like how successful she was, and I was jealous of her, and so I murdered her? Or what was the, like?
So Selena had confronted Yolanda because Yolanda managed Selena's fan club and boutiques. So Selena had like a boutique where she was selling clothes.
Okay.
And Selena had confronted her about some allegations of financial mismanagement.
Okay. Like siphoning the
And
money or something.
yes.
Okay.
And then Yolanda ended up shooting Selena.
Okay. But it was like Yolanda, yeah, she had a gun and the conversation got heated and she ended up firing the gun, but she was not planning to shoot Selena that night, probably.
Probably, yes. I think
Right.
there's probably
Okay.
a little bit of mental health
Okay.
issues.
Yeah.
And this kind of became one of the first stories of like a fan kind of getting too close to an artist and something bad happening. And so it's really shocking, and it kind of shocked the entire world, especially the Latino community, and especially here in Texas, where she was already a superstar.
Yeah.
Even though we lost her, it was her impact after her death.
Mm.
It transcended her career.
Yeah. So it's really, she had a really big legacy.
Yes, she did. Yeah. And so after her death, an English album that she was working on called Dreaming of You had came out, and it had debuted at number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100. And that's, 2 years after her death, we got the Selena movie, which starred Jennifer Lopez, who played Selena.
Was that album complete before she was killed?
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay.
I believe,
so we got
I believe
a
the
full
album was
English album.
Yeah, she was kind of working on some crossover stuff.
Okay.
And so, yeah, the album was complete. And I think now her sister, Suzette, who I mentioned earlier, has continued on the legacy. So she helped with, some documentaries that have come out recently and some shows. She's helped with a museum of Selena and tributes and murals, and has kind of pushed, these re-releases of old songs, unreleased songs, or just like remastering remixes of other songs. And so she's really just tried to keep people thinking. And
what happened to the rest of her family? So presumably she had started Selena y los Dinos. They were getting success. They were Tejano music. They were doing all the things. Rising star. Had the band made it at that point? Like, were they kind of set money wise, and they were just really starting to take off? Like, what happened to her family? Are they all okay? What's going on with her dad, her mom, like all that stuff?
So her family after her death was obviously very distraught.
Yeah.
They lost somebody who is more than just a superstar to the world.
Yeah.
And so how do you lose somebody and then continue on?
Yeah.
And I think they all made it a mission to try to uplift her legacy and let her music and her work speak.
Right. It was not like she was just successful. It was sort of like she had touched her fans in a way that very few other artists had. And so part of the loss of her family is like they were feeling the loss of this special soul to the world or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
And so A.B. Quintanilla, the brother, went on to start his own group.
Okay.
I think years later, it was called Cumbia Kings.
Okay.
And
was that pretty good? Did people like his stuff? Or?
Yeah, pretty popular. Yeah.
Okay.
Different sound than Selena, but still kind of had that same Tejano cumbia vibes. And then as far as Selena's parents, Marcela is still with us. And unfortunately, Abraham, her dad, had passed away.
Okay. This is maybe one of the heaviest topics that we've done. I feel sad. I think I didn't quite understand because I hear the tone of your voice right now, and Chelsea, I heard the tone in her voice as well. And I don't think I ever really understood the awe, I think, is what I'm hearing a little bit. and like an awe combined with like reverence. And I feel like that makes a lot more sense to me now.
Yeah, I mean, similar to what Chelsea said, anytime a Selena song comes on, I remember being a little kid and running to the dance floor because it was a Selena song. And, you know, doing the dances, doing the little cumbia and doing the washing machine. She had a signature move that was like the washing machine. She had a lot of signature moves. And I think you went to a wedding with me and Selena played and we all rushed.
I'm remembering this exact moment. And I remember being really confused because I was like, what is everyone's deal about this? And I think I had like a smile on, but not with my eyes, just like a hee 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 kind of smile. And now this makes a lot more sense.
Yeah. I mean, you can't help but like see a mural in Texas and be reminded of her. You know, even when you see a flower, you think of Selena. I'm specifically thinking of the rose emoji that's kind of wilted because her song, Como la Flor, translates to like the flower. And it's a heartbreaking ballad about a breakup where Selena compares the end of the relationship to a withering flower. And even though she was hurt and she was losing her love, she ultimately wishes that her partner is doing well.
Right.
And so it's like songs like that and the way she sings it with so much emotion. It's fun to kind of go back into her discography and revisit Selena songs. It's fun to dress up as Selena. I think several Halloweens I've dressed up as Selena just because that's how much of an icon she is. And so she's just left this lasting impact on the world. And I think that, you know, as sad as it is that she's no longer with us, it's such a happy thing that we got to experience her and we get to really appreciate her work.
Yeah.
And I honestly think when I got asked as a kid why I was singing and why I was singing New Mexico Spanish music, it was because of Selena.
Really? That was your answer?
Yeah. I was influenced by her and I sang in Spanish knowing that I'm kind of doing the same thing and I'm touring the state, singing at different places and singing some of her songs.
I'm clapping because I care, though. I'm clapping because I care.
We clap because we love Selena.
Yeah.
Anything for Selena's.
Yeah.
Do you know that?
No. Do I need to know that?
We're gonna have to watch the Selena movie because that's a line from the Selena movie.
Okay.
All right, Eric, what have you been listening to this week?
Okay, so I did think about this, and it's a little cheesy and a little bit of a cop-out. And I didn't think that this is the song that would be on repeat for me, but the new Taylor Swift song for Toy Story, for Toy Story 5, it came out like 2 weeks ago, maybe. It's called I Knew It, I Knew You, and it's just... you can kind of tell without even having seen the movie that it's gonna be this really dramatic scene. I feel like for the song as like almost like a montage background, probably. I'm speculating, calling it now. We'll see if I'm right.
Okay.
And it's and then the way the song just sort of builds is just it's surprisingly catchy. Even for me. So I don't know. That's that's what's been on repeat on your playlist really for me when we're in the car or wherever.
Yeah. I personally like it. I think it's like a Taylor Swift return to form, returning to her country roots. It's been 20 years since her debut and it's a country song, but feels very current and new age Taylor.
Okay. All
right. What I've been listening to, I'm surprised it has not been on my list because I listened to it on repeat for like the past 2 months or month since the song has come out. It's called Mexico Honey by Kacey Musgraves. I love it because I think the album Middle of Nowhere from Kacey Musgraves is actually inspired by Selena. Kacey grew up in Texas. This album has this Tejano, norteño, Spanish twang with country. which is really cool. But the reason why I like Mexico Honey is because it's like sultry and beachy, but kind of rap talky.
Yeah.
I like it, and it's getting a lot of buzz on the internet right now.
Yeah.
And that's not why I like it, but it also was on Spotify's Songs of the Summer list. So it has potential to be Song of the Summer. It's number 1 in my heart.
Nice.
And that's what I've been listening to.
Okay. We have created a little email address for your questions, your comments, your concerns.
No concerns, please.
No concerns, just questions or comments. It is icare@ericy.xyz. That's right. We have our own domain, ericy.xyz, and it is icare@ericy.xyz. Feel free to send in really whatever. We're just trying this out. We don't know where it's going.
Or your monetary donations. Just kidding. Yeah, thank you guys for listening. We are going to be posting regularly, once a week. New episodes drop on Wednesday. And how you're going to know that they drop on Wednesday is by you getting a notification from wherever you're listening to us on, whether that be Apple or Spotify.
And I would say also what would particularly help is if you enjoyed this podcast, recommending it to one other person who you also think might particularly enjoy this podcast would mean a lot to us.
Maybe they're the Ricky in this situation. Maybe they're the Eric in this situation. Maybe they know and they love Selena, and maybe they don't know Selena.
Right.
And so don't leave your friends behind.
Don't leave them behind.
Boots on the ground marketing here.
Boots on the ground marketing. Just one other person would double the amount of people listening in if everyone went and did that. So that would mean a lot to us.
All right. That'll do it for Clap If You Don't Care. And we'll see you guys next week.
See you next week. Take care.
Well, we won't see you. We'll hear you next week. Or no, we'll hear us next week.
Hear you coming to you live in your ears next week.